Wyan? A voice snapped her out of her trance of thoughts. She looked around to realize it was lunchtime, and everyone was going for a lunch. Sana, I called you like 3 times. Are you alright? Wyan? Oh, yes, just thinking something. You going for lunch? Sana? Yeah, come along. Wyan? No, you go. I still have to finish these and submit them first. She tapped a hand over the files stacked up in front of her. Sana nodded and left for lunch, asking her to hurry up so she can eat too. Ryan sighed, looking back down at the files. Maybe she really started zoning out a lot. She remembered her boyfriend asking the same thing this morning. She just kept thinking back to her boss. Something about him was weird. The way he looks at her, like he's stripping her in his imagination. Shaking her head, she shrugged the thought away, focusing on her work. She was late to submit the files already. Once she was done, she stood up, taking them to elevator to her boss's office. Upon knocking the door, she received the permission going in and placed the files on the table. Ryan, you asked for these, sir. Sam, take a seat, Miss Ryan, he said, picking up the files and looked at the time once, knowing everyone must be out for lunch. Sam, you are late in delivering these. You know that? Ryan, I am sorry about that. I was not feeling well. She stood up and bowed. Her hand went up to her chest to keep the shirt from hanging down, to stop from revealing any part of her body. But to him, she was late. Till her hand reached there, he already had his views, making him smirk. He eyed her body up and down once before she stood back up straight. Sam, you should have informed. Just because an employee was not feeling well, you know how much trouble it can cost the company. It's not professional at all. She kept looking down, biting her lower lip. Even that move he found another turn on for him. He stood up, checking the file, walking around the table, reaching near her. Sam, should I let you continue working? Ryan, I'll be careful from now on, sir. She took a step back cautiously. Sam, from now on. But you are not now. He moved his hand up, tugging strands of her hair behind her ear in a sensual manner. She instantly took a step back, looking at him with shocked eyes. Ryan, what are you doing? Sam, don't act like you don't know. His arm went around her waist, pulling her to him in a rough motion, as their bodies crashed against each other. Sam, do you know how every night I dream of making you cry under me? His dirty words were enough to disgust her, even more than she already was. She kept trying to push him away. She started screaming for help, but there was no one on the floor at the moment. His hand started going under her shirt, tugging it out of her skirt. Wine, let me go, you disgusting creature. She kicked him where sun doesn't shine. Sam groaned loudly, stepping back, kneeling on the floor, holding on to himself for his dear life. She ran away, taking the elevator, pressing the ground floor button unrepeatedly. A scream left her lips when he was out of his room, running towards her direction, but thankfully, the doors closed before he could reach her. She was sweating at this point out of fear. Her hands started shaking. She fixed herself in the elevator. Upon reaching the ground floor, she ran out, not caring to take the phone and her bag from her floor and get in further danger. Taking deep breaths, trying to relax herself when she reached a public area, knowing she was safe in here. She tried asking a few people if she could use their cell phone to make a phone call. On her third try, she succeeded as a lady handed her over her cell phone for it. She knew whom she needed to call. She tried calling Jungkook twice, but he was not picking up. Maybe because it was an unknown number. On her third try, he picked up, sounding surely annoyed. Jungkook, who is this? Fine. Jungkook, Jungkook, I'm here at the following park. Please come and pick me up. I don't have anything with me. Please, hurry up. Her words sounded frantic and scared, to which he instantly responded, rushing off his seat, asking her to wait for him. She hung up and thanked the lady several times for letting her use her cell phone. Fine. Thank you so much. It helped me a lot. Emma, are you alright? You look scared. Fine. I was harassed. I left my stuff there, not wanting to waste my time fetching my things and get in any kind of trouble. She didn't want to share it, but she was still thankful for her for helping her. Emma, you should report it to the police. Fine. I called my boyfriend. He will handle it. Emma, I'll stay with you till then. There is nothing to worry about anymore. You're safe here. She comforted her, and it was great help at this moment. Soon, she saw Jungkook's car nearing them. She thanked Emma again, and the two left their own ways. Jungkook stepped out of the car in a hurry, nearing her and held her arms, checking all over her if she was alright. To be honest, the way she sounded so scared on the call made him worried as hell. Jungkook, are you alright? What happened to you? He stopped in the middle upon noticing the finger marks on her neck. Tilting his head back, his hand reached up, touching the area lightly. Jungkook, who did this? His worried expressions long gone, turning into rage ones. His voice was still calm, but she could tell he was ready to burst out any moment. She instantly moved her hand up, covering where he touched, and shook her head. Wyan, that, that Jungkook, you won't do anything. Jungkook, who did this, Wyan? What happened? You're telling me right now. Wyan, my boss, he tried to touch me wrongly, but I ran away before he could do anything. I left my stuff in the building. That's why I used someone else's phone to call you. He poked his inner cheek, checking her up and down once again. The anger inside of him started boiling just by hearing someone else touch his lady inappropriately. But his moves were still gentle on Hawaiian. Jungkook, you're alright? She nodded and he helped her back in the car, getting in himself, and drove off to her office instead of home. Wine, what will you do? She asked in a low voice, fiddling fingers, knowing she stood no chance anymore to stop him from anything. She knew once someone messes with him or something that belongs to him, he doesn't sit back quietly till he takes his revenge. Jungkook cut his goddamn hands, with which he tried touching what's mine. He parked the car in the building, stepping out of it, going inside. Everyone present there instantly got alerted by his presence. After all, everyone knew who ruled the dark world. Even the police was under him. It made them wonder what he was doing here. He straight walked over to the receptionist. Jungkook, the owner of this company. Receptionist, on fifth floor, sir. Receiving the needed information, he ignored everyone, who stepped aside frantically, giving him way to pass by. Entering the elevator, people in there froze, pushing themselves against the wall. They didn't try getting off their respective floors either. The sight of him in front of them was enough to make them want to pee. They could see the gun poking out of gun holder from the back. Wine got inside as well, looking around once, knowing why they are reacting that way. Sighing, she went to her floor, taking her things. Sana, where were you, Wine? You even left your stuff here. Wine, I left. It's nothing, just leave it. She took her purse along with her things. I'm leaving. Sana, wait. Stay here a bit. JK is here. I don't know what he's doing here, but he went to see the boss. Wine. Sana, he's my boyfriend. He went to sort out a matter with Sam. Sana, what? Why didn't you tell me before? Like, JK, your boyfriend. You're being serious. Why? I didn't want anyone to treat me differently or fear me because of that. I'm sorry. She could already feel others stepping away, getting to their works, not wanting to disturb her anymore. That's why she didn't want. Honestly, that doesn't matter at this point. Not like Jungkook was going to let her work here anymore. He straight went to his office, bursting the door open. Sam, who the hell? Realizing the person in front of him, he stood up instantly, taking steps back when JK didn't stop marching in. He took direct steps towards him, landing a punch right on his face. The punch was strong enough to blow senses out of Sam for a moment. Sam fell over the chair, taking a moment to balance himself back on his feet. Sam, sir, please, I didn't do anything. Jungkook, oh, you didn't do anything? He let out a chuckle. His each and every move was spitting fire and rage. Running a hand through his hair, he grabbed Sam's jaw with such force, his fingers digging into others' flesh, hearing him whimpers. Jungkook, you touched my girlfriend, John Jungkook's girl, and you say you didn't do anything. Upon realizing, Sam's eyes widened up in terror. He swore. He almost peed in his pants. Sam, sir, I didn't know. He tried to speak, but his voice came out muffled due to the tight grip on his jaw. Jungkook simply shook his head, kicking him on the knee, making him kneel down on the floor. Jungkook, I don't like the sight of those hands attached to your body. Sam, sir, please spare me, please. He started crying at this point, holding Jungkook's leg, begging for mercy. Only if it affected him one bit. Jungkook ended up stepping the back of his heel on top of Sam's back of hand, palm pressed against the ground. He screamed out in pain, leaving Jungkook's leg, begging for mercy, trying to free his hands. Jungkook's weight only increased, adding intensity to his pain. Till an extent, he could hear the bones crackling underneath his foot. Wine. Jungkook. He turned around, removing his foot at the soft voice calling him, not wanting her to hear or see such dreadful sight, and screams. Wine. Let's go from here, please, she said ever so calmly, with a soft tone. Sam had his tears running down non-stop. He couldn't feel his hand anymore. He started crawling near Ryan to ask for forgiveness. Wrong. It was a wrong move. Jungkook took a big step near him, grabbing him by the hair. Jungkook, where do you think you are going? He pulled him back by his hair, slamming his head against the table, leaving him there on the floor. Sam was hardly in his senses anymore. His head started bleeding at this point. He was laying on the floor. The whole world around him started spinning. Ryan, please, she said again, and he finally let go of him, not wanting to spare him without breaking his other hand too. Jungkook, alright. He stepped forward, planting a kiss on her forehead, sliding a hand on her waist. He walked out, ignoring the stares he was receiving. Wine had to ignore them too, not going to come back here again. They both got back to the same park. This time, Wine was walking beside him, while side hugging him. He kept his one arm around her. Wine, I still want to work, Jungkook. I get so bored at home. You know that. Jungkook, do it, Wine. I won't take your independence away. But this time, they know whom you belong to. Wine, no one is going to be comfortable with me, babe. I don't like that. She stopped turning towards him. Jungkook, let me teach you defense moves. I'm not going to tolerate this kind of behavior by anyone again. She nodded at that, not seeing any other way anymore. Jungkook, you know, I love you so much. I can't bear someone else's even laying eyes on you wrongly. A smile formed upon her at that, hugging him. The two shared a kiss, showing no care about being in public. His kiss was soft and comforting. At times like this, when he had to comfort her, he made sure to shower her with kisses and hugs, telling her he was always there for her. Wine, I love you even more, Jungkook. Thank you for coming in my life. She rested her head on his chest, letting his heartbeat calm her soul. Even the whole life seemed so small for their love. They could only wish to live eternally beside each other, holding hands, sharing love, telling each other how much they love and cherish their presence.